another episode of
And on that note,
So I am Georgina, aka Mrs._Jacobs with a Z at the end.
I'm Danielle.
I'm Annette. Follow me on A Mazzini. Hi.
And I'm Daphne, and you can follow me on Instagram at Daphne2. Thanks.
Why are you so prim and proper?
Oh, I'm always prim, and I'm always most certainly proper.
Well, guys, you can follow me at Winging It at Motherhood.
Or no.
It's her that's the honor. She is the honor. She is the honor. In fact, we will edit you out.
How very vague.
Anywho, what's the topic? Oh, wait. We're gonna be on the radio. We're gonna be on the radio on Post FM 88. Post FM 88. With Miss Linda E. With Miss Linda E. Sponsored by Supermo. Sponsored by Supermo. We're gonna be on Post FM 88. Post FM 88. And on that note, and on that note, and Danielle Mazzini. Oh yeah.
And Daphne.
She has forgotten the name.
She's on beat.
By the time this episode drops, we would have already had our, I suppose, an airing, or what do you say, an appearance?
That's all I want.
On the radio. On Pulse FM 88.
Yeah, we going places, y'all.
Yeah, don't
Jump on the wave. Jump on the wave.
Don't get caught slipping. Don't get caught slipping. Anyway, yeah, so we're going to be on the radio, so yeah.
So what are we talking about today?
The message. So anyway, guys, I just want to kind of just share my, my upset that Love Island has ended. Well, I know you guys weren't fans other than Danielle.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think first of all, do you guys know who won? For you guys that don't watch,
Isn't it Ovi?
Alicia.
No.
oh my god, she said
Amber.
It's Ovi.
It was an Amber, yes.
Yeah,
and Greg.
Amber and Greg won.
I was asking somebody about the guy. They said
Ovi
the
just
guy
has a
doesn't
good
count.
one.
He just got lucky or something like
Oh,
that.
that guy got lucky.
He literally was the last
He
person to drain the villa.
Yeah, he'd been in the house only 12 days. Imagine
Really?
12 days in the house, you leave with 25 grand.
Yeah.
But is it because they were a couple?
Yeah, because
And
they're a couple.
No, who decided? He got the.
He picked, no,
Yeah, he decided to split, right?
yeah, because he got the money.
So at the end, you have the option of splitting or keeping the money. Even though you're in a couple, you could keep the whole 50k to yourself. So he got lucky and he got the 50k.
Why?
Because she chose the envelope
Because they
that
have
has
to
zero.
choose an envelope.
Yeah, you have to choose an envelope.
But anyway, that wasn't
What
my
a
point.
stupid program!
Yeah, I know, but they shared the money in the end.
Yeah.
But to be fair, they could be bad man and keep the money.
Yeah.
If they
Oh, so she did get money?
yeah.
Oh,
They decided
okay.
shared it, yeah, and split the money.
Oh, okay, so it was like that. So you do the thing, and then somebody gets the 50k envelope,
Yeah.
and that person decides whether
Yeah, exactly.
I
Okay.
can actually Google if someone's gone home with the money.
Apparently it has happened before.
No.
I don't
I
know.
honestly thought that
But
Ovi
anyway.
won here because the way everyone's like sobbing tears in their stories over
Because
him,
he's such a
talking about
gentleman.
him. You know, I thought
He's
he was
such
a
a
winner.
gentleman.
No.
He could have won though.
He could have won. I voted for him. but
Not with
anyway.
his girl.
You voted!
On the app, on Love Island app.
Oh,
I-
I thought you were one of those people!
No.
Do you pay to go?
No.
Oh, is it? Oh,
It's
it's
free. So I only I installed the app on the night of the finale, and then as soon as Ovi came third, I said, okay, deleted this app. But anyway, no, my whole point for bringing up Love Island, so other than me missing it and everything, that it's on because obviously me and my bae be watching it at 10 o'clock. But anyway, forget that. Don't be franking. Yeah, Jesus. Don't be franking your face. I was gonna say. I thought like I was gonna swear.
Did you
Sorry.
see she got even scared herself?
Yeah, I know. But no. So my whole point for bringing up the whole message was that I felt like watching Love Island. Love Island.
Celebrate!
Okay, private jokes, guys, private jokes. But no, honestly, I think my whole thing for like me missing Love Island, or just kind of even just reflecting on Love Island, I think this was number one, the first time, well, the second time I've actually watched the Love Island series from beginning to end. But it was the first time from the last one that I noticed that there were quite a few black people in there, or people with like black affiliation, let's say. So, but what I didn't really like about this Love Island was the fact that there was like a dark-skinned girl, so Yewande, Nigerian Yewande, but she grew up in Ireland. Yeah. So she grew up in Ireland, and I just feel like for these kind of shows that they don't fully cater for black people in terms of, because from my understanding, I feel like if you're going to go on these kinds of shows, before you go on the show, they would ask you, what's your ideal match or the ideal person that you would go for, you know? And I just felt like in this instance, in this show, like they didn't really get partners that would match each other. So they matched the people, like, let's say, like, I'll say like the white people, like they got people that was definitely, okay, compatible with each other. When it came to the black people, it's almost like they couldn't find people.
And not just that, George, like I feel like the black boys just didn't want the black girls anyway.
Yeah.
They just went straight for the white girls.
So I mean, I don't know. So I mean, what do you guys think? Would you guys like, okay, would you guys go on a show like Love Island?
Nah.
I would.
Why would it be?
I would.
I think it's a fake show.
Yeah,
So, and I
that's
know how I am, because the moment somebody says or does something, I'll be like, this is craps. This is junk. I can't do this.
Some people like that.
Yeah, but that's the thing is, that's the thing. I know that I can't keep up appearances. I know that I couldn't pretend. Like, there's no way I could ever sit there. No, I could not sit there.
Getting made up all the
No.
time.
I mean, like, I couldn't sit
I'm just there
there
for the clothes.
and literally be like, oh my gosh, I want to couple with you. I like him so much. It's a lie. I don't like you. I have no idea who you are.
But then
what
don't
you
you
think
need
you're
to
chatting about me?
No, exactly. What you need to think about is it's just them in the world. They don't leave the villa. They're just in this private villa by themselves. There's nobody else that they can fancy. You would take
And you
fancy
just
to
talk
someone.
to, it's almost like having the last
You
man in
will.
the world.
Yeah.
If you have the number one, if you have the last guy in the world, so what, you're not going to do anything for them?
No,
You're not going to rubber a day?
but he's not there.
Rubber a day! She doesn't even know.
I think I personally just don't like the concept of the show, because I think I was saying to you earlier, I think it's just too superficial,
It is superficial.
and I just can't.
But if I was single and ready to mingle, I ain't got nothing to do.
Yeah.
I'm going on a free holiday. I'm getting free clothes.
The villa's amazing.
I'm getting my wig laid every day. I'm getting my nails did. I'm eating free food.
You've
I'm
got
on
a
holiday.
chef, a cleaner,
What the heck?
like
I
everything.
thought I saw them cooking their own food.
No,
It's a lie.
it's a lie. They got a chef.
They
They
might
got
make
chef.
their
They
breakfast
got
and
cleaner.
snacks in between.
Please, these
But
people are
they've got
living their
chef.
lives. That's what I think. They're more upset about leaving because this is the best holiday
They'll
of their
come back to
lifetime.
reality now.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, if it's like, oh, it's just an experience to go on there, fine, I might go.
if you
but I don't
were
think.
in the house,
Girl, bye. If we had over here in that house, nobody would see us again. We're going one of those
in the love shack.
The love shack.
You have to get voted in by your contestants.
Everybody's gonna vote me in.
They were the most voted.
They must vote.
I didn't fancy any of the boys this year.
Do you think Obi was handsome?
He's just not my type, you know. I like him caramel.
PG, please.
Did you say hey, daddy?
I said daddy.
Daddy.
I think there's some very young people who might watch our shows.
Girl, bye.
PG, parental
PG.
guidance.
No, this is 18, so
Right, this is 18 and upwards.
Yeah.
Do not watch this. I'm not here to be a role model for you, please.
Remember, we
Let me
said
live my
that.
life. But yeah.
No, I just feel like it's too much.
So you won't go on it?
No, I get what. Look, if I was trying to build up my social media following, if I was trying to be a
but they
celebrity,
already
But these people are quite
yeah,
established.
build it even more. So if I was
yeah,
trying to get a job out, like even more, what's it? What they call it?
Endorsement.
Endorsement. Yeah.
I have a brain.
But all of that, I would certainly, most certainly, use it as a catalyst for what I'm. But I'm not interested in any of that stuff, so it just doesn't appeal to me.
Well,
But
that
do you do like reality TV shows though?
I would.
Yeah, I think I would.
Do you know what? I would and would not, because I genuinely feel like reality TV shows have an element of fakeness to them.
Yeah, but I mean, I wouldn't even say fakeness. I'd just say,
There's
like,
an
you know,
element of
like there's
script.
many
Of course.
takes, isn't it? So you've just done a take which was organic, and then a producer comes, we like what you did, but do this here now. So that's where the
Add
script
some
comes
drama.
into. Yeah.
Throw a plate. Because do you know what?
But
It's
actually,
true,
yeah.
though.
Do you think?
Yeah, because how come all these reality shows they're beating each other up or they're arguing?
But I'm not gonna lie,
You don't naturally do that on a day-to-day basis.
No, but
like,
I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes, when we are in a group of certain, in particular people, some events can happen, and sometimes it feels like this is
So
a
that
reality
event would
show.
take place, and then the producer would be like,
But that's not scripted.
No, that's not scripted. But they'll be like, Annette, instead of throwing the tissue, can you throw your shoe? That's where the scripting comes into it.
Yeah.
That's what I think. Yeah,
I don't.
but I would still do a reality.
Could you do
TV
it?
show.
I could do it. I am a reality TV show.
Can you do Love Island?
I mean,
No, I
GoPro.
can't do Love Island.
Not obviously assuming you were single.
No. Even if I was single, I couldn't do it.
Why wouldn't you do it?
It's just really shallow. I agree with you. And like, not shallow.
It is,
in that sense,
I agree with that.
I think
No,
it's
it is
just,
shallow, though.
it's just based on what you see.
But what
But
reality
I
show
like-
is serious? Reality shows
No,
are
but
meant to
do
be
you know the
serious.
only thing I don't like about
I
Love
think it
Island
can
is, like,
be serious
The real
if you're
world.
dealing
Remember the
with
real
like.
world?
on TV.
Yeah,
What
that
is
was
the real
serious.
world?
It's just it was like one of the first reality shows in MTV.
Oh,
the
yeah.
hell?
They put all these people
I
in the
love it.
house.
Have you seen
Hills.
Little Rebooted?
Oh yeah.
No.
It's not the same without Lauren. I've been watching
I
it
can't
though.
watch it.
Oh, I watched it.
Yeah, it's very rebooted.
I think when it has something to do with like.
What's her name? Beneford. Natasha Beneford. She's
Reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inhibition, feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you.
Only you can look to it.
No one else can spill the words on your lips. Live your life with. So someone that doesn't watch the show. Anyway, moving on.
No, but I
To
think
the
when it's got
matter.
something to do with like marriage or something like that, certain elements of it can be like real. Like
Which
married
one?
couples talking
Which marriage?
Maybe
I like
like
that show. It's ratchet.
maybe things like T.I. and Tiny.
I feel
like
like
when they
there's
have
some
their
sort of scripting
conversation.
to it.
I think maybe the acting bits, yeah, but I think when they're talking about like specific things, she might be like, well, you know, he made me feel like this and he made me feel like that and this and that. I think that's real.
Yeah.
No, I think they're real, but like I agree with Danielle, like there'll be times where they are filming. It's it's even little things like the person can be walking, right? And you can see that the way they've shot the thing, they've slowed it down to make it look dramatic.
Yeah.
That they will.
Do you know what's the worst for that? I don't know if you guys watch it, but Maze in Chelsea.
Yeah.
I still love it.
The
but
filming is mad.
I've seen them filming as well.
Oh, is it?
Oh my god, you guys are
Hey, Danielle, you're always in the right place at the right time.
Swan streets, baby.
Yeah.
No, but I'm just like, was he really jogging that way and he happened to see so and so?
Because I always think to myself, what are the chances that you're just gonna bump into her and you're just gonna be like,
No.
oh, so what happened yesterday night?
Yeah.
I think the producers do it.
They
like
plan it.
call
Because everyone has their full time as well to
Yeah.
shoot
Yeah,
it.
No way.
So,
Yeah, that's what they're doing in the housewives as well.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, so they're like, oh, you didn't want to shoot with me in that scene, but we're all just going for lunch and dinner. Yeah, right.
Do you know what I love about reality shows? How they're forever going on trips.
Oh my god. I want to take you on a trip.
Finale trip.
Girls,
Always.
I've got a surprise. I'm taking us all to Las Vegas.
I'd be on the plane though.
Ambition.
But yeah, if it was that,
Especially when they're not friends and they still go on the trip. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Plus that's
Yeah,
not
Are you talking about
Basketball wives.
Basketball wives?
Jennifer.
Basketball wives. Yeah.
Basketball wives.
I mean, I watch it sometimes.
Yeah,
It's a lie, you watch it all the time. You up to date, mate.
Bruh, literally, you know there must be like refresh. Where is it? Mr. One Premier, you are late today.
On my day off, man.
Yeah, but anyway.
I would do one. Would you? Would you guys do one?
I would. I actually believe
I would
we
go on
need a
Love
reality
Island.
TV show.
I would go on Love Island, but that's about it really. I mean,
So you wouldn't have a reality TV show with us? Could you be followed 24/7 by a TV
Leave me
crew?
alone.
boy, I don't know.
Well, it won't be 24/7. Well, maybe it will because there might be cameras in your house, but
No, they're not coming to my house.
they will at one point.
Nah.
Maybe like the ones that are there. What's that show? Gogglebox. Not the ones
Oh,
that
yeah.
film you 24/7.
Yeah, not
but
that.
Oh, Google was
The
on
crew-
24/7, do they?
the camera is in your house 24/7.
I thought you just when you're watching certain programs.
No, it's still.
I can have it in my house 24/7 because number one, I don't
No,
like
I'm talking about the.
and we kind of roam a bit nudist
Naked.
in our house. So yeah, no, thank you. I don't need them in my house. When I'm
Okay,
dressed,
so-
I'm ready. I will come downstairs. I'll meet
in
you
your
there.
house. Could you be followed by a TV crew? I'm asking because I need ITV or Channel 4 or BBC One or Netflix to give us a contract. We need a reality TV show, guys. We are some dope ass black women, and I think the world needs to see what we're about. I agree with statements 1 and 2, but no, please, they should not follow me anywhere.
They shouldn't follow you anywhere. Do you know what? Actually, I was watching this.
I'm editing you out. I don't see the right thing, sis. You're knocking off my millions.
Can I just say, I was watching this thing on BBC One called The Borough. I think it's called The Borough.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically, it's a reality TV show, but it is a real show. Like, these are cameras that are wobbling, following 4 people, you know, through their days, doing what they're doing, talking to their parents in the kitchen, you know, with one random wooden spoon and a pot and things like that. And you know, it's like, this is a real show. And I think it's quite good. It's a different perspective because it's like, it's real life stuff. So one girl is actually, she works for like a music company and she wants to be a producer and a stylist and all these kind of things, and she works with music artists, and it just shows her whole day, like what she goes through, what she does.
Is it interesting?
She lost one of her friends to knife crime, things like that, like so they go visit the scene, things like this. But yeah, it's interesting.
But is it entertaining?
It is. It's about people they're from East London, South London, and I think North.
Interesting.
East London, South London, and North London. Guys, we can do this. You will join us in one of the
We should
Londons.
come
I'm from
I think we
West
should come with the
London.
name. Should we call it the compasses?
The compasses. No, it sounds like the composers, but we're not the
Big up composers. No, the compasses. Thank you.
Yeah, no, a compass.
What's
What are you
so
doing,
funny?
sister? My hubby just messaged me.
Girl, bye.
Did he hear you talking to him through the camera, yeah? What's
Caramel.
Caramel.
Are you guys doing flirting on the phone?
They are.
They
So
are.
nasty, bro. Did
You've been talking the whole time. I watch a lot of TV these days. I need to get my life. So I was watching this thing about love. And it was
What's it
basically
called?
from a man's perspective. Actually, I was watching the Red Table Talk.
Oh, okay.
Jada Pinkett and her mum and her daughter Willow. And they were talking to Wale
Okay.
about the perception of love from a man's point of view. And he was explaining how he didn't see love from his parents. Well, he didn't see them
I'll show
say,
love to each other.
I love you,
Yeah.
and things like that, and you know, come in the door and say, hi honey, I'm home, you know, kiss on the forehead, blah blah.
So you didn't see
So
it.
he
He raised
didn't-
in Nigeria?
He said that, he was raised
Here,
in
in America.
Yeah. His dad was always at work, you know, driving a taxi, and his mum was always also at work. So when she came back, it was like cooking, blah blah blah. He described their relationship as a business. It was almost like a business, their marriage. And so now he's, you know, at 28 and stuff, he was kind of stuck with
Why is he
relationship.
only 28?
No, he's saying when he found he acknowledged all of this when he became 28,
Okay.
and he
It's a long time
he
to acknowledge.
became it's like stuck in relationships. He just didn't know how to express love, and I was like, wow, it's a lot. So I was watching it with my husband, and he was like, I think he's hit the nail on the head for a lot of people, because he was saying in the midst of it that a lot of people from his country will be able to relate with what he's saying, especially a lot of men that don't really know how to express love. And I was like, so how do people, when is probably the first time that we experience love and learn how to give it back? I had to sit down and think about that myself, and to be honest, I didn't really have an answer. Yeah, so when was the first time you guys can honestly say, I experienced love, or I saw love and was able to think to myself, okay, this must be what love is?
From my parents.
It doesn't have to be from your parents. It could be from a friend, a teacher, whatever. I don't know. Like someone of influence or someone of importance in your life at a certain time in your life.
The thing is, I genuinely cannot remember. So if I say when was the first time, I just, you know, when you just realize you're in a household, because I would think it's from a household that genuinely like is loving. That's all I can remember. Like from my parents, it was obviously loving. I never felt like unloved in those situations, but I can't say it was me seeing my parents show affection to each other, because I don't remember. When the times when I remember my parents showing affection to each other, I was obviously a lot older, and so they could have, but I just wouldn't clock it as a child. But I feel like one thing I always remember, my sister and us say this to each other all the time, I feel like in certain households, you teach your parents the affection that you become aware of. So like,
obviously my parents are Ghanaian. They were born and bred in Ghana. So I think their culture doesn't show that outward love.
Affection,
But then as I was growing up in this country, I thought, whether it's based on what I was watching or, you know, what I was seeing, experiencing, I felt like, oh no, this is how you express stuff. So if I go to my parents now and then I'll be like, Mommy, I love you, and then like giving them hugs and it gets to a point where I think they have no choice but to kind of embrace that, because that's how I am. And it's funny because my sister and I have a running joke with my dad where we go, love you. And my dad's one of those people that, like, he never used to say I love you too, he just says, oh, me too. And for some reason, somebody might be like, oh yeah, that's fine. But it's like, we grew up thinking, no, you have to say I love you too.
Yeah.
And
for it to carry weight.
Yeah. So then we used to say to him, no, you have to say I love you too. Now he could have gone, leave me alone. But he was like, oh, I love you too. So it's a running joke now between us. So we all do it. So if any one of us goes, I love you, we go, me too, me too. And so it's one of those things. So I think you, in a way, you see that love of your parents and you kind of, okay, they love me in this way. But you also teach them how you need to be loved, or how you feel the love from them.
Yeah.
So I think that's when I feel like I noticed the love between myself and my parents, because I would do something and they would embrace it, and not necessarily, it wouldn't come from them so much, it would come from me, but they would start doing what I do, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
No,
I agree. I think with me, I think it's very similar to what Daphne said as well. I think just being African and being Nigerian, my parents especially as well, so they weren't the ones to be like, oh, I love you, or anything like that. My dad says it now all the time, like, oh, I love you, love all my children, my wife, my sons, my grandsons, my son-in-laws, I love you all. My dad will be sending one marathon message every morning. I love everybody, I love you. But it's so strange because growing up, I don't think I fully remembered it. I knew I was loved, I knew I was cared for, I knew all of those things, and I felt that. And to be honest, again, very similar to Daphne as well, I think my parents saw the love and the bond myself and my siblings had, and they just realised, actually, these children, they tell each other everything. Like literally, there was no secret. So it's like anything that happened, saw mommy do this, saw daddy do this, oh my god, we all congregate together. Guess what I saw? Like we all so I think they saw that and they thought, oh, these kids have got like an unbreakable bond. And then that made them again learn how to love us and learn how to communicate with us as well. But even now when I'm thinking about my home life, again, I always say this, myself and my husband, we love each other and we love our child the way how we felt like we would have wanted to be loved when we were younger. So we do everything, and it might not even be pleasing to what our son wants, to be honest with you, but we know that we put everything into him, just in terms of things that we thought went well in our lives and things that we thought actually was kind of lacking a bit in terms of affection and love. So we constantly, I don't remember constantly being told, oh, I love you, like you're this and you're that, like I don't remember that. And I saw my mum and dad kiss occasionally, and those kisses were dead. They were dirty. Everything dog-lit and everything like this.
No way!
It was horrible.
No way! I've never seen that before. Really? So they knew how to do them things.
It was just like,
do you know what I always wondered though?
It was
I've always
massive.
wondered if Africans, like old Africans, know how to lip sync.
I don't think they know how to
I think they don't know.
I just think they look like they're just going to swallow your whole. What was that pasta? Did you say that pasta?
The one that goes like this to the wife's head. Have you seen that one?
What one?
When the man goes like this to the wife's head, he just goes like this, then he puts her head back, and then he goes.
Oh my god,
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about, right? And I'm just looking at it like, and it's literally like he put his mouth there, and his tongue's just swirling around in her mouth, like there's no
washing machine.
What's your machine?
Why are you doing that?
Yeah.
Huh? Because you know them.
You know them.
No.
She will show you after.
No.
If it's
The
the
one.
Wait, so he grabbed the head, turned it like
Wait,
this, wrong.
Daphne, it might be a
I'm talking about this one. It looks like
because
it's
you
in
know them
Africa.
too.
This one
Daphne
is.
doesn't know them.
No.
It wasn't Africa. It wasn't Africa.
Wait.
Oh, was it? Oh, then it
No,
is.
then I don't know this one because I don't know these people.
Okay.
Let's not know me.
Shall I make it?
We'll have a look later.
We'll have a look later on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But I think now, especially like for me now, I'm always very conscious to be very affectionate. I think I'm naturally affectionate because I'm more affectionate now because I think just based on what Annette was saying about this whole topic about, you know, Wale's conversation about not seeing this, etc. I made myself become affectionate because I thought actually I liked to be loved and I liked getting affection from people that love me, and I want to know that they love me, and I need to hear that they love me.
Yeah.
And I feel like I need to do it back to them as well, so that we all know. I don't think we should just assume that, oh yeah, you know I love you, so I don't need to ever tell you. It's like, I need to tell you all the time that I love you guys.
Yeah.
Do you know
I'm
what I mean?
really affectionate too.
Yeah.
But I think I get annoying with people. I annoy people with my affection because I'm like, I realize like obviously I'm very affectionate, right? As in like I can just be like, give me a hug, give me a hug. But there's people who are just like, don't.
Some people don't like hugs, you know. Some people don't like hugs.
Was it? Didn't you not used to like hugs?
I love a hug. I love a hug. But I don't like a handshake. Don't touch my hand.
That's nothing.
Just people start touching my hand and start touching my hand.
It's a bit suggestive sometimes.
Yeah.
No, but anyway, I love like, but sometimes I think I overdo it. Like obviously, this will be people I know and love, not anybody. Please, I don't like that. But I can come up to my mum like this, and I'll just be like, hi, mommy. And I'll like sit on her and stuff like that. And some people might be like, but like that's just literally it. But again, I think I started that in my household. I don't feel like it was something that I saw. And sometimes I think it just comes down to your personality
and your relationship with that person.
Yeah, but I think sometimes
you have to force yourself, especially if it's someone like your parent and you yearn for that kind of relationship and you yearn for that. Because if you can't get it from your family, then who are you going to get it from? That's kind of how I think of it. So you kind of push yourself onto it. Like, and
I think the only reason I've been able to do that is because my parents are not going to ever be like,
Yeah,
so it's always like, they never push me away, so you just keep doing it because you're just like, oh, it's alright.
Yeah.
It's true actually.
I don't think like I speak to my mum. Mine's really weird because I speak to my mum like a million times a day, and like on the phone we'll say, okay, bye mum, love you, see you later, we'll talk to you tomorrow. But we don't do like all the huggy stuff. But I'll walk, like if I'm walking with her, she'll probably link her arm into mine because she's shorter than me. But yeah, we don't do all the huggy or whatever. I won't just go and sit on her. But with my little brothers, they're like that with her, like the youngest ones. But I don't know if that's because I've done that with them, so now they do that with my mum. I don't know how to explain it. But
no, I get.
But she is loving and lovey, but she just doesn't do that with the older ones. She mainly does it with like the younger ones and like Kiki.
I never used to. I never used to hug my mum either. But I remember there was this one like I was at church and I was listening to a sermon, and they were talking about loving people and loving your neighbour and all this kind of stuff. And most of the time, a lot of people don't know how to love. Like Wale was saying, he's never seen that love, so he doesn't know how to love. And I think in my mum's situation, that was almost the same case. Like her parents were, not together for a long time. Her mum passed away when she was really young, so for her to see that love in the home wasn't that often. So I had to also now kind of step into her shoes and be like, okay, I want my mum to love me. I know how I want to be loved, but maybe she doesn't know how to do that. So let me show her how to do that. So now I call her, be like, what are you doing, babes? I love you, babes. I just call you to say I love you. And she's like, oh, that's nice. So when I see her, we have hugs, like real hugs, like for 3-4 minutes in the middle of the road. It doesn't even matter. We just hold each other because I think it's really important. And
embrace each other.
Yeah, it's just, it could be any time, just a hug. It can change your whole day. It can change your whole day.
And don't you think sometimes a hug can speak a million words?
Oh,
yeah.
Don't you think so? You know when you give that powerful... and you don't let, and they want to let I'm not ready.
Yeah. Do you know what I can't stand it? But like the same way, because you said a hug can speak 1,000 words, right? Like the wrong type of hug also says a lot. Like when people hug you the wrong way, you're just like, I know you don't like it. I hate the tap. If you hug me and you tap me, I'm like, don't hug me. Get off me. Because you're telling me to get off. You're telling me to get off, so I'm getting off. I don't want to hug you.
Cancelled.
Yeah, I hate that. Kiki does that.
Oh, is it?
But she does it as in like, okay, it's okay.
Oh,
like that.
Oh.
But yeah, that's how she hugs. Yeah. And then there's some people that, you know, like, I don't know, you know, there's the hug that you give the tall person, then the short person, then there's the side hug. And I feel like,
we did that, didn't we?
and then there's a romantic hug. So you know, like, if you're like, I don't know about you guys, but if you're hugging like a guy, especially a guy that's taller than you, you probably do this.
And then you stick your bum out.
I wasn't gonna say all that.
But that's what they do. Those girls when they're hugging tall guys.
I know the arms got over the neck. Is that
yeah,
like that.
If it's my
But then
friend,
if it's a friend,
I go under.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. If it's a friend, it's under. Like for a guy friend, especially. If it's a guy friend, especially, it might even be a side.
It might be like, yeah, because I always do
yeah. And then
I can have you rubbing your body on my body.
yeah, no.
My body is not my own.
No, remember I was telling Georgina that I hugged a guy that I went on a date with. And it's like, you can literally feel the person hugging you and like, you're trying to feel my body, you disgusting. I can tell. Because you can tell. You can tell when someone's trying to like,
I don't want to say groping.
yeah. So like, there's all these different types of hugs. I feel like you can tell a lot with a hug.
You can tell a lot with a hug.
tell a lot with a
I
hug.
remember, not saying any names and not saying where, but I had a man of God who he first of all he said to me, "Girl, you are wearing the heck out of that dress."
Wow.
And then he tried to give me a church Christian-y hug.
Was this in church?
And then he and then he tried and give me like one of those, you know, that groping hug. I said, "Not today, sir." I said
What's the, oh, like the,
you know when they squeeze you on the side? Yeah, it wasn't a side. He even tried to do a front to front hug.
No.
And I said, "No, sir. I'm not the one.
yeah.
I am not the one."
Your husband is not the one.
Yeah. Innit? I thought I'm not the one, but yeah.
He didn't try that shit again, did he?
Never. Never, ever. Nope, he didn't. But yeah.
Those people that don't know how to
Some men
hug.
take advantage. Oh, I hate when people don't know how to
People like
hug.
to hug and then they do
They
this
just give
weird
you
dead
So
hug.
awkward.
Or they put their whole face on your face. Why are you touching me? Why?
And there's just people that do that weird thing like this. Oh,
And it's hard.
straight.
And it's just like straight.
Oh, it's weird. I'm like, just don't touch me.
Oh, because their body can't bend over.
They just don't know. It's just weird. People just don't know how to hug.
They don't want to flex
It feels
into it.
forced for them, but yeah, hugs are a very nice thing when they're done correctly.
Yeah, if you know how to hug, then hug us. If you don't know how to hug, stay far away.
Isn't
My
it?
energy stay far away.
But anyway, yeah, the whole motto is love your friends, love your
Love thy
neighbors,
neighbor.
love your enemies, and give a hug. Now I do.
Do you guys watch Real Housewives of Potomac?
Yes.
Okay.
No, but I know what it is.
Okay, so I don't necessarily want to talk about the show, but I kind of want to use an example from there. So there's one girl there called Candice who's grown up in quite an affluent home, and her parents are doctors or psychologists or something like that. And she's always grown up like in a very spoilt environment, so she's always got everything she wants, like private school. Her mum's like just always been like her main financial source. So anyway, now she's married. Her mum more or less paid for her wedding, and her and her husband live in, her mum paid for the wedding, and she lives in the house that her mum currently pays for with her husband.
Okay.
So she feels like that her mum's like disrespectful to her, and her mum doesn't respect her relationship and respect her marriage. But a part of me thinks, I don't know if it's like an African thing or if it's just almost like just a standard moral thing, like how dare she? How dare she think that you know her mum shouldn't have an opinion about anything that she does? Because I
already entitled her mum to do
I almost feel
something.
like she's entitled her mum to feel that.
Yeah.
Like, why are you relying on your mum?
Her mum is an
Why are you
American.
relying? You're married
Yeah.
to this guy who's now your husband, and you're not gonna.
What does her husband do in terms of contribution?
So apparently he pays some of the mortgage in their house, but the mum is still paying for the house as well.
Is she an only child?
She's the only child, yeah. But her mum is disrespectful to her. Like, I think recently her mum slapped her. Like, she's a proper adult. Like, her mum slapped her. But I think her mum is only able to do that because
she feels like I'm still funding your lifestyle.
She's still
I'm
she's basically like, I live in my house.
You're basically under my
I
roof.
fund your lifestyle, so you're my child, and so I'll treat you as such, as a child.
But do you think that's right?
No,
It's not right.
It's not right.
Like you said, she's kind of given her mum license to do so.
Yeah.
But I just feel like, do you know what, funny thing, I feel like there's a culture like that now, you know, and not even just the culture of people's lifestyles being funded, but I feel like there's a culture of kind of like the men not even bothered about, like the men even being...
I blame us women for that though.
Do you think?
Yeah, we spoil some. I feel like the people that are going through that, they've allowed that. Like, you clearly don't care if your man is pulling his weight, or if he is a bum in the home. Like, you've allowed that. If you say it's fine, don't worry, my mum's got it. Why won't I take advantage of your mum doing it? Why should I go and slave away when I know your mum's got it?
So the funny thing, so for example, with this girl now, she's now, I think now she's beginning to get the urge now, okay, like now we need to move out. But I feel like her husband is a bit hesitant, because I feel like he's had a very comfortable lifestyle where they feel like, okay, we can always run back to mummy if we need any money, or if we need this, if we need to be
and you know,
down.
she might have gotten with her because of that, like, because it would have just been a free ride.
Her mum just doesn't respect her and her man and her husband. But then I feel like other than just looking at it from this perspective, like from this obviously Real Housewives of Potomac perspective, I think this is just a common thing now, where people are relying on one person in the household to kind of carry things. Do you know what I'm saying? So like this girl, she's got a husband and her husband works. Do you know what I'm saying? But her husband is comfortable with knowing that her mum funds their lifestyle.
It's terrible. Sorry. Let me just sit with this.
Yes, maybe.
What do you call those type of people though?
Lazy.
Freeloaders.
Yeah,
Opportunists.
that too.
But are you an opportunist if it's your parent?
But I feel like
the guy, not the daughter.
But I don't think, maybe they're
But
just
it's not just him, it's her as well. The girl needs to cut it off.
Maybe there's
Well,
a
her mum
level
needs to cut it off. Her mum is still providing for whatever she needs. If there's nothing
I think
there,
there is a level of taking the mick.
yeah.
Even from
Milking
her
you
point of
dry,
view,
yeah.
because she knows that she's going to be like, well, I'll just call my mum, you know, it's
she'll bail me out.
She's going to bail me out, and I'm going to be okay.
It's kind of like that.
Yeah,
well,
but
until
she's
the mum
taking the
says
mick.
no,
Like, honestly.
what's she gonna do then? She's gonna have to sort herself out. So.
But I feel like that's fine as long as you're willing to take what comes with it. So if you know you're gonna call your mum and be like, when your mum is now slapping you up and down, then just accept it. Don't complain, because that's the standard you set.
But not even just that, I just feel like you can never respect the man. I feel like you've opened up your marriage and everything to abuse for people to just be... At this rate, your mum can stop your husband at any point. That's what I think.
Is her dad in the picture?
Her stepdad is in the picture.
So does he not have anything to say about like the guy?
Well, it's not his child. It's not his daughter. So they never show the stepdad.
Oh, okay.
But her mum comes on the show, and her mum's relationship is very tumultuous. So you can
One
always
day good.
That's some good words.
Thesaurus, guys, not a dictionary.
So yeah. Like they do have that kind of like that volatile relationship, because the mum feels like, well, yeah, I think as someone said before, like, you know, you act like a child, so I'm going to treat you like a child, and that's honestly but I can't do that, you know. I'm sorry, I'm not doing that. That's dead.
Yeah,
that is dead.
They really need to move up. That's what it is.
It's funny because I just feel like, I don't know, I feel like some things are cultural, because I can imagine like me, like with somebody like a man, and my parents are like, oh, you know, you guys are coming to us. As far as in our culture, it's like, you have come to take my child because you can take care of her. So what again? It's like, it just don't make any sense.
It's true. But then some people don't feel no way about it, to be honest with you. Like some people are happy with that setup. Like okay, so what do you guys think about if you earned more money than your man? Do you think you could respect him?
I have to.
100%.
I have to.
What do you know?
You have to what?
Respect him.
Okay.
Respect him.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have
But
to.
respect isn't based on finances.
Yeah,
It's not based
on finances, but
they're the head of the home.
No. But if you're earning significantly more than your spouse, do you think do you think that you might look at them a bit sideways?
No, there's always room for improvement. To be honest, one day I don't know mine tomorrow. Like it could be the roles could like reverse.
That's true.
Yeah, that's what I think is seasonal, because a lot of people, they also have their own businesses and stuff. And when in the beginning stages, businesses are very small, they don't make that much money. But then when they grow over time, you can literally become a billionaire. And that doesn't mean to say that, you know, how much you valued your partnership during that process has become less now because you make more than your partner.
I mean, obviously not me, like, I'm not completely separate from that, but I literally knew a girl that was like, I can't get married to a guy if he earns under this amount of money. It's just like, it's a no-go, like you're not going to be able to look after me and the lifestyle.
Under this amount of money.
Okay, I get
because but less than me or more than me, I don't think it's so much of a big deal, because I'm striving to, you know, be levels as well. However, I need you to be ambitious as well. So whatever you're doing, I need you to be striving to be on top of your game.
Let that just be temporary, you know?
So you know that I need you to be ambitious. What's this? There's this thing where people say that, oh, would you marry a guy with whose ambition, or someone who has a vision or something like that? Do you know what I'm talking about? I think people usually say like, oh, would you marry a guy with potential, or someone that's already like fully made?
I guess it depends. Everyone's different, right? It depends on what you believe is made. Do you know what I mean? Because I feel like somebody could say, oh, having a material things, that person is made, like, you know, they've got a house, they've got a car, da, da, da. But then somebody could say, oh, somebody who's got a high level of emotional intelligence, a good EQ, IQ, and all these other things that maybe are slightly less tangible in terms of they're not physical, but they could say, I really value that, because actually maybe their past relationships or what circumstances means that they haven't seen that. So it just depends on what you personally value. So when I say stuff like, oh, I want the person to be ambitious, I mean ambitious in the sense that it's like, you just try and do your best in every situation. You're trying to grow. You have good ambition in terms of your self-growth. You have good ambition in terms of your role as a husband and a father, and as a son, as a brother. You know, you're ambitious in terms of your goals. You're trying to always strive to do better. So it's not just one side in terms of, oh, you've got to be career-driven and to earn peace. But I'd like you to, because I'm like that. I'm always trying to be like, oh, how can I do better? How can I go better? That's what I would like. But I also feel like each to their own. What Daphne likes, Georgina might not either, and that's perfectly alright.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, I could be with someone who has potential, because I'm not saying that I would be the main driving force, but you can always encourage a person to be their best. To you know, really exercise their full potential.
Do you know what I feel like about that? Like I look at the analogy of like training wheels. Yeah, you know, when you first start to ride a bike, no one says to you really, oh yeah, just go and try and ride the bike. As in, you could learn that way, but the person will fall a lot of times. So they put the training wheels on, and that they're there to guide you, to support you, to give you that bit of confidence, so that when they eventually come off, you're just like, okay, I've got a bit of confidence. But that's how I feel it should be. I can be with somebody who's got potential, but eventually, like, the training wheels have to come off. You have to be able to say, okay, I have to be able to nurture myself to a degree. I have to be able to push myself. I have to motivate myself to a degree. Not to say that person, I couldn't motivate you too, but it can't be solely me. So the moment my motivation comes away, you're now, I don't know.
That's the thing. That happens a lot. That actually happens a lot, and I've seen it many times with people that I've kind of like come into like contacts with, and they've been in those kind of crap situations where they felt like, actually, the guy is this. I've been in a situation like that, like when I was dating one guy, and to be honest with you, I remember when he approached, like when we started going out with each other, he told me like, oh, I'm a teacher, and it was so funny because I remember, like, I was at work at that time, so he would call me at like 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, bro, aren't you teaching? Like, why are you calling me for? So, and then he'll be like, I'm on my way to work at 10 o'clock. I'm like,
what kind of a teacher?
Exactly. And then by 2 o'clock, he was on his way back home. I said,
was he a dinner?
Is he? Did you say to your dinner? I was so confused. So anyway, I then came to find out that he didn't really have a real job. And number one, I was
he didn't really have a real job. What was he doing in the store?
Well, I was traveling on the bus to a place and then coming back.
I think for the day.
So he was pretending.
Oh, that's
To some
sad.
degree he was. To some degree he was kind of pretending.
So
Yeah.
it's not funny.
So to be able to tell you,
going
and he was traveling far as well on one
from
bus.
the first bus stop.
Yeah, literally.
Oh, the whole
literally.
journey. And then
Literally, he was literally doing that. And first of all, I felt a bit offended. Like, why would you lie to me? Why couldn't you tell me the truth? Do you understand? Like, this is your situation. Like, I'm not gonna judge you. I just think it's a bit stupid that you would lie. Number one, it was really dumb that you would lie. But then, what then happened, or what really turned me off, was that I started sending him like job applications and like said, okay, what I asked him, what are you interested in? Because I want to encourage you, you know what I'm saying? Because I thought you're a nice person, I want to see you win, do you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you haven't got a job at the moment, let's get you a job.
Let's change that.
And then, you know, let's change that story for you, so you've got another narrative. But man didn't want to get a job. Like, that's it. Man did not want to get a job. So I was like sending him, you know what, I was just sending him applications form, I was sending him like links to say, oh, this place is hiring, this place is doing this, this place is doing that. Then one day, I think it was maybe like 2 weeks, I said, so how far with all these jobs that I sent you?
How far?
Have there been any interviews or telephone interviews or video interview or anything? And it was just like, just to let you know, beloved.
Beloved.
He called me beloved.
That would have been cancelled.
Bro.
Don't start saying beloved. I hate him.
Obviously, I cancelled him. Is he here?
It's the beloved.
Do you know him?
No,
He's
we don't follow
cancelled.
him now.
So, what's it? He was just like, oh, do you know beloved?
Is that how we talk?
That's exactly.
Was he from the north?
No, it wasn't just deep. It was a different kind of bass that I heard. But anyway, he was just like, yeah, do you know what, beloved? Basically, like the Lord told me that I'm gonna do something. All right, okay, you are cancelled. I was just like,
Why is he using
wow.
Jesus Christ as an excuse? No, I'm sorry.
I'm
A lot of people would love that the God told me.
But not even just that, I'm trying to
Stop.
see you win. Like, why don't you want to win for yourself?
Yeah.
So I realized to myself, I actually can't be the person driving you forward and pushing you forward. I can encourage you to so much, and you have to do the rest. I can't do it for you. Do you know what I'm saying? And I just thought, this is rubbish. And I thought to myself, do you know what? You were showing me what is to come if I was even to progress this relationship with you. Imagine you can just one day decide to wake up, darling, I'm not going to work anymore.
I want to be the
But then you
house
want to have
husband
their
or
kids.
whatever. Yeah.
Who's going to feed them?
Yeah.
Me.
Yeah.
Nah.
Do you know what I like watching sometimes, guys? Don't judge me.
What?
Divorce court.
Oh, I love that.
It's like
I
with
love it.
Judge Lynn Toller.
Oh yeah.
And I brought it up because it was literally an episode I watched the other day where the guy was more or less the same. So they're married. I'm sorry, just to say this, these Americans, they're wild. Like, you know, when sometimes you're looking at them, you're like, nah, these
Is
people
this
are
your life?
yeah,
It really happens. Is this your life?
And so there's this one man, he's now like, oh, you know, I'm married, but he doesn't want his wife to work. She's got 2 children. He's like, you know, I make enough money for the both of us, but you know, I don't want her to work. I just bring the money. But she's complaining that he doesn't know how to save. And he's like, yeah, I don't have to save. They showed all the things he'd be buying. It's like he's spending silly money here. I think he bought $500 worth of roses. And
what?
Yeah, on Valentine's Day, and then he took her somewhere and this. The bill meal was that, and she's literally saying, look, I don't want all this stuff. I want us to have more money in the bank, and yada yada yada. And he was like, I don't know how to say just totally leaving the responsibility to her. And he said, but she's like, okay, let me work then. And he's like, no, I'll give you the money and you can save it if you think it needs to be saved. And the killer was that after all that was said and done, and they tried to get through to him, and he's like, no. He goes, anyway, I'm not working at the moment. And they were like, why are you not working? And he's like, oh, you know, the job that I work, it's too many hours, it's too stressful on my body, this, that, and the other. Fine. But now, it's like, so do you have savings? No. So Judge Linda was like, so wouldn't it have been smart when you were in a really great position,
To be saving
the money?
Yeah.
And then he was like, yeah, anyway, it's okay. I always try and do more, so I'm trying to get a job. So now I want to be an actor. I'm going to now pursue an acting and
Does he know
modeling
how
career.
At what age? Is he having a midlife crisis?
31 or 32.
Some people.
And then it was just so funny because you know the ones where you're like, sis.
It's not that it's not attainable, but come on, be realistic.
You've got 2 children, you've got a household, you've got bills to
You
pay.
don't have savings.
And you know,
She's
in
not
America,
working.
it's different. They don't get benefits. They don't have universal credit and all of those things. So
Even healthcare. What if the kids, God
Yeah.
forbid, you know, they get ill?
If they don't have insurance,
that's
then
it.
they
How are you gonna pay the doctor?
With like a lot of guys, they don't look like long term. They just look very short term.
Yeah.
And it's like it works for now. It does what I need it to do now. And instead of them thinking, okay, how can I build? And that's what I'm saying. When you look for a guy, it's more than just about what they have because he had money.
Yeah.
When they, do you know what I mean? Somebody could go into that. Oh,
It's deeper
he
than that.
was so well spoken as well. You go, oh yeah, this guy. If you don't delve deeper to understand what's going on there, you'll get this situation will come 3-4
That's
years
what
later,
happened to me,
and then the person will be
yeah.
like, oh yeah, me, I don't know how to say
That's
what.
That's what would have happened to me.
Mm.
And I knew, that's what would have happened to me because literally the guy that I was just telling you about, the way how I knew that, this is 100% dead, was when we went to one of my friends, my really close friend's birthday, and we were on our way there. And then, no, we didn't even get to that stage actually. So we went to the cash point and he was taking
embarrassment.
And I was just like, what are you doing? And I was like, aren't you like, hurry up, there's people behind you waiting. So I wasn't right beside him. But it was quite embarrassing for me because I was all dressed up and everything. And I was like with him and he was ahead of me. So I was just like, what are you doing? Hurry up. And he was just like, And I was like, what? And he put his car back in again. And so I saw insufficient funds. I said, Jesus, it's not. Did I see insufficient? I thought, nah.
But he had nothing.
So he put the thing back in his card. He put the same card in. I said, it's
Until
gonna
the
be
machine
same.
takes it.
No. I said it's going to be the same responsibility.
Maybe it was waiting for 12
And then
minutes.
and it's just like, oh, I don't understand how this happened. So my thing is, I thought you don't even check your bank balance. No, you don't forget him. He's not even in denial. You don't even know what you're spending. You're just spending.
But he didn't have a job, so he didn't have no balance.
Yeah.
He didn't have a monthly's balance.
The balance was 0.
Balenciaga.
Balance.
Was finished.
Yeah.
How long have you seen him for?
Hmm?
How long have you seen him for?
A month.
Not long ago.
That was shut
Yeah.
off.
Yeah, you just you see what you need to see, and then
that's
it's
it.
cancelled.
I don't need to see anything wild. You don't need to do anything wild. You don't need to push me. You don't need someone to shut up.
Yeah.
Anything like I don't need
It's
to
not that deep.
It's not that deep. For me, I see little signs. Little signs. When you start, and he was telling me mad things like, oh, I don't want you to wear weave anymore. Don't want you to do your
Was he your
nails.
witness?
No. Don't want you to. Jehovah's Witness.
Why
Stop
not?
celebrating my birthday.
No, but you might.
I
So
know.
you give them job applications and things like that, but that doesn't mean they're going to fill it out. You can take the horse to the water, but it doesn't mean the horse is going to drink. Okay?
Boop.
And on that note, guys, we'll see you on the flip side.
We love you!
Thanks for tuning in to another episode.
Be sure to join us in the next one.
Bye!
Au revoir.
Bye!